Hello and welcome to chair yoga. Yes, chair yoga. I am standing, but today I'm going to use the chair for stability as needed. We'll stand in mountain pose to begin with, and we're going to be focusing on our spine. We'll move other parts of our body for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about flexion and extension. So I'm going to turn sideways, and if I put my hand out and my fingertips are up, I'm flexing or extending the bottom part of my wrist. And then as I rotate the fingers down, I am extending the top of the wrist. So that's our wrist. We can do the same with our upper body. So let's begin by bringing the hands up, breathing them up, and just lowering them down. And noticing the movement on our backs. Exhale them down. Inhale them up and hold here. And let's reach out of one side. And then exhale and release that. Inhale, reach out of the other side. And then release that. So just straight up and down for now. Making the spine longer. Now it's subtle. It's a small change, but so beneficial for keeping the spine healthy. On your next exhale, let's release those arms down. Just roll the shoulders a few times forward and then roll them back and down. Keeping the shoulders back and standing tall, and again, one hand on the chair for stability. We're going to bring the shoulders up towards our ears and lower them down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see just straight up and down. Inhale them up, exhale them down. Now notice also that the back is moving. The muscle and bone called the scapula are moving up and down. So important for keeping the shoulders flexible. And then from here, we can take the arms up and exhale them down. So keeping the shoulders even, we're just extending the arms out away from the body, exhaling and bringing them back in line with the body. Up on the inhale, down on the exhale. One more. Good, very good. So now placing your hands on the chair, walk back until you're into your down dog. So we could be feet wide, tailbone back and up. Maybe we lower our upper body parallel to the floor, or you could be here. Go where your body will go and you feel safe, and just hold here for a moment and let's work our down dog. So we bend the knees and push them straight, pushing the legs straight, and then bend. So here now, working into the knees, bending and straightening, is using the knee joint, bringing health back into the knee joint a little bit. And of course, if you have pain, if it's just mild pain and you can work through it, I think you should. But if you have sharp pain or chronic pain, then maybe you skip this part and talk to your doctor about what's best for the movement in your knees. Next time they bend, stay, lower the heart just a little bit more. Push the booty back as you straighten the legs. And the body should be in somewhat of a L shape or a right angle. Take a breath and then just bend the knees and release that. And now we're going to step in a little bit and drop the shoulders down towards the floor, pulling the belly in. This is our cat position. Again, you can have the hands on the chair. I'm going to bring mine to the thighs. So you could bring one hand in and then the other. As long as you have good stability, you could bring both. And then from here, we're going to bring the body into that 90-degree angle by drawing the shoulders back and looking out in front of us here, pushing the booty up, straightening the legs, and then bend and round. Trying to get as much movement in our down dog, but now we're balancing, holding onto our legs. And again, you can have your hands on the chair and then stay here and round it up slowly. And if you start to feel dizzy, just put your hand on the chair. Take a nice deep breath. Bring those arms up. Inhale, exhale, and bring them down. So pulling our shoulders back and pulling those scapulas down our back supports our upper body here. Good for our posture and just good for our breathing because it also stretches the muscles in the front of the chest. Stay here and let's tilt one ear towards the shoulder. Now flexing the spine, especially the upper spine here, over to one side. Bring it back to center, neutral. Take it over to the other side. So it's a subtle movement. Side, center, side, and center. Now adding a little more movement, I'm going to let my hand slide down the outside of that leg. Now, not only am I flexing or laterally flexing my spine here in the neck, but I'm starting to get into the side. You'll see it better here. Bending. Now this side's stretching, this side is compressing a little. We're just taking the bones of the spine though, side to side in this lateral movement. And go slow. Enjoy it. Enjoy the stretch. So keeping the hands down looks like this, right? Keeping the chin neutral. Now adding the arm as we go down, we reach the arm up and over. So it's almost like we're reaching for something on the side of our bodies here. Support yourself on the leg or on the chair. And then we'll come up and release that arm down. Slide the hand down, flex the spine laterally. Maybe bring the other arm up and over. Hold for a couple breaths. And then as you move, exhale. Exhaling here, releasing the pose. Let's do it again. And the other side. Adding the arm is adding what we call a lever. So our arm's heavy. And when we reach over our head, it creates a deeper stretch. So if you want to just stay with the hands down, you're still getting that lateral flexion in your spine. Coming back and standing tall. Let's drop the shoulders forward. You can support yourself here or on the chair. And just feel the expansion across your back. And then standing tall, bring the shoulders back and squeeze the shoulder blades. I'll turn a little bit. So this is like our cat-cow, right? Just using the shoulders first, just seeing how that feels. And if you want, you can stay with that. I'm going to round a little bit more, sliding my hands towards my knees. And then as I come up, rolling the shoulders back and maybe taking the hands down the back of the leg and looking slightly up and rounding. So now this is flexing the spine in a forward bend. This is extending the spine up, making space in the vertebra. And both are important. We do in our daily lives a lot of forward bending. We bend over to work on a counter or on the computer. We extend when we reach for something up. So let's do that. Let's round into our forward flexion. And then as we come up, let's bring the arms up and back behind our heads. And then bring them back down. So here you're working at your computer. Here you're reaching for a cup to make yourself a beautiful cup of tea. One more. And then release that and stand and just see how that feels in your spine. Take a nice breath and let it out and soften through your body. So I can turn that into a little sequence in yoga. Coming forward, rounding my shoulders down, and then as I bring them back and up, I take my arms out to the side, flex the fingers up towards the ceiling, and look up. And then bring them back and down. Let's do that one more time. And then back. Now the next time we do this, I'm going to take those hands all the way back, as far as I can, opening up across the front of the chest, and then bring them back. Getting a bigger movement here as we come up. Roll those shoulders down to support your heart, and then bring them back. One more time. And then neutral. And pause and just notice how that feels. So we can also do that in our down dog. So we put our hands on the chair and we walk our feet back. Keeping our chest somewhat high here, bend your knees, and then arch your back. Just look forward, arching, stretching through the throat in front of your body. And then round, pull the belly button back, round and tuck your chin. Forward. And here we have cat-cow. Keeping the spine healthy. And we could turn this into a yoga pose. So as our chest comes forward and up, bend the elbows just slightly. And then we release it. So that would be in standing yoga here. It's going to be our dolphin or up dog. And then release it. One more time. So what we're doing here is we're bending our knees for stability, using the chair and lifting, arching the back. And then release it. And then step the feet in and come to standing. And maybe shake it out or roll those shoulders again. So now I'm going to add a little work to our practice today. We're going to take one hand out to the side and bend at the elbow. And as you lift one knee, you can tap it. Notice I've got a hand on the chair. You can have the hand on the chair, or you could work on your balance right here. Taking your time. Bending and straightening the knee. You're also now getting into movement in the hip. One more. And then stand tall and see how that feels. We'll go to the other side. So if you're using your chair, you're going to be here. I'm going to face the camera so you can see. Standing tall. We touch. Just moving the arm forward and down, back and up. And notice I'm even feeling it in the shoulders. Yeah? One more time here. And bring it down. Good. Now we're going to come back to that lateral flexion of the spine, bringing the arms up, adding some weight. Now you could have the hands in front of your heart for this. If holding your arms up overhead becomes strenuous, just change it up a little bit. I'm going to be here. I'm going to use Kali Mudra today, so if you'll interlace the hands and then point the index finger straight up, we get a nice long spine here. Take a breath, and then we lean to one side, reaching up and out. And just thinking about curving the spine here, not really pushing the hip out. Try to keep it in the mid-back, and then take a couple breaths. On your next exhale, bring it up. And maybe to relieve your arms, you just bring them down a little bit, shake them out. And we'll come right back into it, interlace, point the pointer fingers up in Kali Mudra here, arms alongside your ears, and we keep the spine long and just bend it to the side. And then bring it on back up and release the arms down. Beautiful work for the spine here today. Let's do it again. To one side, reaching up and out, framing the head with your arms, keeping the shoulders down your back. And then inhale here and go over to the other side. Just take a couple breaths, and then we'll come back up and release that. Very nice, very nice. Take a couple breaths. The next thing we're going to do for our spine is rotation, our twists, right? So when we were doing this before, we were starting to twist, but we're going to take it a little further now. So a hand on the chair, lift the leg that's nearest the chair, and instead of bringing the arm down to touch the knee, take it across and bring it back. Take it across and bring it back. Finding that twist. You can even take your eyes over to the side and deepen the twist here. One more on this side. And then I will turn around so that you can see how it looks from the back side. We're just reaching across, lifting a leg. Just getting that movement across the body, twisting our spine. And you can see how this, keeping the spine healthy here and able to twist comfortably and well supported with those muscles around the spine, can be very useful in our daily lives. We'll do one more. And pause. How you doing? So separate your feet a little bit and then just rock side to side here. Spine is neutral. And then we could start to swing our arms out and back, finding a little balance. Be careful of your chair. I've turned a little sideways so that I don't hit the chair. And then come to stillness. So another pose that we can do standing is camel. Often we do this on our knees or sometimes in our chair, but today I want to do it standing. So I'm placing my hands back here for support, right below my waistline, drawing the shoulders back and then lifting the heart, extending the back, extending the spine back, taking our gaze upward. This is a beautiful stretch in the front of the body. Holding here for a couple more breaths. And then release it back to neutral in hands at your side. And breathe. And then another twist we'll close out our class today is we bring our hands in front of our heart and sink into our chair pose. So you can, again, do this in the chair. So in this position here, we're going to turn our bodies and place an elbow on one thigh or the other. Find your position, which one you want to use. And then from here, the top elbow goes back and up, and the hips come towards your hands. And we get that beautiful stretch on the opposite side of the body and a twist in the spine. And then on an exhale, release that. So I hope you got that. I'll do it on the other side now. So I'll turn this way. We sit down into our chair position, hands at our heart. And then we put an elbow on a thigh. First thigh you come to, second thigh you come to. You decide. And then from here, we're going to draw that top shoulder back, keeping the hands pressing together. We're going to push the back hip towards the hands. They don't touch. They're just an effort so that we're not pushing the hip out and we're actually twisting the spine. And then we'll release it and slowly rise up into our mountain pose. Let's take that tall mountain stretch here. Equally reaching out of both sides, bringing length to the spine. And then we'll bring them down, and we're going to keep the spine long so we're not rounding into our cat. We're just going to forward fold here. So keeping the shoulders back and squeezing the upper back a little bit. And then we'll just come up. Now this can be very strenuous on your lower back, so maybe you only come a little today and come up and start to strengthen your back. Otherwise, take it to where it feels comfortable and doable for you. No pain. And again, it's not cat-cow, we're just forward folding and then lifting up. And then we'll come back to that camel. The counter pose of that forward bending is to arch the body. So we place our hands back here, soften your knees, take your gaze up, and then lift up, arching your back. Breathing in and out through the nose as much as possible. And then release it and come to your mountain. And once again, a nice tall stretch here. Reach out of one side, reach out of the other. And then float the arms down. So let me know how your spine feels after all of that little bit of movement we did today. Forward, flexion, arching back, extending, lateral, flexion, side to side, and then our twists. Let me know. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.